Good morning. Hello, bunny. I have an Easter hat, courtesy of Grandma. It is finally starting to get warm enough out here that we can actually come out and play for a bit. So I'm going to start trying to prep garden beds. Ideally, I should have probably raked this off. Maybe a week or so ago. But I didn't. Oh, really and truly. She's not that heavy. She's only about 16 pounds. Which is relatively small for her age. But counterbalancing that, while raking up this, I need to take this off. I'm not in that bad a shape. It's just a lot more effort to do this and picking up and bending down and all that. While you have a budgie attached. Is that better? Greenhouse is behind me. This is where we normally plant any of the vining stuff, so pumpkin, squash. We've put our potatoes here a few times. Got leftover sunflowers. This year though, I want to plant more in the beds, and since the pumpkins and squash don't like to stay in the beds anyways, what's the point of putting them in the first place? So we're going to turn this space kind of here next to the garden. So kind of this space here into an in-ground bed. It's the only in-ground bed other than the flower bed in the front that we have. And it's one of 4 gardens that we're planning on putting in this year, or at least hoping to put in this year. So I'm going to start with this. Should probably get some cardboard and put it down first. But at the moment I think I'm just going to get the leaves over here and pile them. And then I can put cardboard down and spread it out afterwards. That took a little bit longer than I expected it to. But I've got all of that to spread. This pile here needs to be moved over so I can put the cardboard down. But I've got all that I can spread. The garden is looking nice and clean. Looks a little barren at the moment, but I've uncovered a few little plants that are trying desperately to survive and come up underneath all of the stuff. Those guys. There's some sedum coming up here. I think those are hostas, because that's in theory what should be planted there, and that kind of looks like the hosta starts, but also seems like that would be really early. Anyways, it is clean and I'm happy, and Budgie slept through most of it. But it is now time for lunch, because I am hungry and she needs to burn some energy. Okay, had lunch. Dan got up, realized it's a nice sunny day, and something I have been waiting months for is about to happen.
Alright, Budgie. You're coming on this side.
Alright, grab a budgie.
Budgie, budgie, budgie. Ooh. Woof, woof. Yeah, this is new Budgie.
What do you think, Budgie?
Yeah.
All right. Have fun.
The maiden voyage.
Okay. Well, while they're out having a fun bike ride, I'm gonna figure out what I was doing in here. This has been bugging me pretty much since I made it. So I needed the bench, and there was a bench here before. It was a workbench that we sent to Dan's workshop, so I needed a spray bench. So I had some material, I threw together these boxes, the kick plate, the countertop, everything's good. I did have the material, you can see all this random stuff piled in. All of that is material that I pre-milled to the basic dimensions. So I have like all the upright pieces, I have the fronts, the backs. A lot of the bottoms I didn't have full pieces for, so they're gonna have to be biscuited together. But all the material's there, I just need to get in there. And as you can see, at the moment, because it's not actually a box, it's taking up the space that it would normally be creating. Unlike the table saw box, which was built completely differently than what you would normally do for a cabinet box, that has to be slightly more precise because I actually am going to be putting the drawer slides on that. Unlike the one in the table saw box where as long as it fit and it slid reasonably nicely, it's fine. The other thing I did on this one, you can see the bottom is actually underneath everything. Normally it would be recessed into here, so these pieces would go straight down. I didn't do that on this one because I wanted it to actually slide back and forth on the bottom, since I knew that it wasn't going to be on drawer slides. Since it wasn't going to be on drawer slides, I wanted it to be able to slide on something smooth, which is also why I made this out of particle board melamine stuff. And normally you also bring the face out to here. You can see on these, you don't have the edge of that showing. I did it differently on that one because I wanted to make sure that when I was pulling on it, I wasn't pulling the screws out. Like if I pull on this and it sticks too much, it could pull through the screws. Versus if the screws are going this way, technically that way, it would have a harder time ripping apart, and it would totally rip itself apart. But we'll cross that bridge if and when we get there. Budgie, did you have fun with Daddy? You're like, I was sleeping and I was happy. I got one drawer in, so I've got two more to put together. That one's just nailed as one piece. It's not actually screwed together yet. I don't know if I'm going to have enough screws to even do that one cabinet. But I can at least get them cut and nailed and slid in there. And I should probably check to make sure that I actually have the 1-inch clearance for that. And then I'll put together the other two, and I'll have one of the 3 cabinets done. This one fits here, I need to put some sort of a handle on it so I can actually grab it, because I will not be able to get my fingers in there afterwards. Bottom one fits. There's enough clearance here, but the middle one kind of wants to hit like right there, which in the grand scheme of things is fine, because when I put the slider in, it will be up here, so this will have clearance. It'll have clearance here, but I don't really want it to only have about a 1/2 inch clearance between this and the next drawer down. So I'm going to measure and run this through the table saw. It's a way that you can do this after the fact. It's not ideal. I think I might put a few screws in it first before I start cutting it, because that'll help hold it together. Well, that is a wrap for today. I have time to make those bottom ones, but I don't have any more screws. And the top two on each one of these either doesn't have anything in them, or they have very light things in them, so I can kind of get away with just having the nails for the short term. But I ran out of screws on that bottom one down there. So the other ones have heavy things in them, and if I make the drawer and then have to put the heavy things somewhere else, that's kind of counterproductive to getting all this done. But it looks very pretty. It will look better as I put the actual finishing touches on it. I did have to put, you can kind of see there's a two-tone in there. I did have to put pieces at the back of those 4, and I'm going to have to do the same thing at the bottom too, because I didn't have material that was wide enough and deep enough, but I could make up some, so I basically biscuit jointed it together, kind of the way I did the table saw bench. That's a wrap for me. I'm done. I'm going to put my tools away, go inside, relax, and call it a night. See you guys later. Bye.
Ready? We're gonna sit down.
He just hasn't wanted on video. I don't want evidence yet.